timing's right. So basically I left off with the last video of giving you guys like books that I've read. So this is a size book that I'm interested in exploring, and the reason why I'm showing you this size book is because thesis year is going to be upcoming, and I want to begin like thinking about size and stuff like that. Of course it's going to change because I'm in my second year and I'm not in thesis year, so I don't know I don't know where I'm going with the poetry for that. What I do know is that I have like classes where I'm making books and stuff like that now, and what sizes I'm growing into. So I have 2 courses that I'm taking that are like design-ish focused. So one is like more 3D physical books, and then the other is this is like weird. Okay. The other is like digital online, making a book, so making it in design, and we sent it off to Lulu, the publisher. I will like keep my fingers crossed that it gets to her in time, because this whole semester nothing has been syncing, and like I'll send myself stuff, it doesn't open, and then I'll like do stuff at home and go online, go to class, and like it doesn't translate over, the fonts are missing, and I'm like, oh my god, like it's like really, it was really stressful. So making the book, I made it later than I wanted to, but hopefully it gets to her by then. Yeah, so thinking about that, like the projects that I had, I am choosing an 8x8, like an 8x8 size for my final book arts project. And the reason why is because I actually like that size for readability and for what I want to do. So I'm excited about that. And then 2, I just like the idea of a square. There's something about that that's like very soothing to me. So my final book project that I'm going to turn in outside of my like classwork assignments and homework assignments that I need to get caught up on, will center on labyrinths and my like fascination with them. I really like labyrinths. It harkens back to when I was in like SAT prep and stuff over the summer as a teenager. I would go to SAT prep at this like church, and at the end they would like come in and talk to us and be like, oh hey, this is our spot and stuff like that, but they would let us walk the labyrinth that was like outside, and it was like a stone labyrinth on the ground. So it wasn't like, you know how they traditionally, those mazes that you see, which aren't labyrinths, because labyrinths are just one way in and out, and a maze is multiple ways in and multiple ways out. But anyway, it's not like those like with the hedges and the bushes and stuff like that, but it was like a stone one on the ground. And I always was like very fascinated by the experience, but like no one seemed to be as interested as me. And it wasn't even like I was like geeking out all the time, but it was just like a quiet understanding that this was like a spiritual thing, or like a fascinating thing, or a meditative thing, but I wasn't like where I am now in my like spiritual like kind of stuff. So it was like a very fascinating experience, but like it became like very interesting to me more. So it was like some news just came across that. Anyway, so I wanted to center on that. So essentially the book will explain like different sorts of labyrinths, and then like give examples of them and make them like a little arts kind of thing. So there's that. Yeah, I feel really like happy about that. I think that life will be cool with that project. The other things is just I had to design a book, so I chose 3 short stories. I don't have it with me, so when I get them back or whatever, like I'll show you guys finally. And we had to like flow in the document on InDesign. We had to design the cover, we had to send it off to printer, and like make sure it was formatted in the PDF form and stuff like that so it could get printed. So I chose 3 different authors, which I should have just chosen one, and went on about my day, but you know. So I chose 3. I chose Charlotte Perkins Gilman for the yellow wallpaper, Kate Chopin, The Awakening, and then Charles Chestnut's The Conjure Woman. So I did all 3 of them. It came out to like 300-ish pages or whatever. And yeah, like it was stressful. I'm not gonna lie. I should have chose one, but because I want to make, I specifically want to design like African American like public domain books, like just redesign them and like format them into like different sort of things that interest me. I like appreciate the ability to like learn how to do this. So when it comes in, I'll show you guys, but it was a very interesting kind of thing. It's very stressful, very stressful, but I learned a lot, and I'm glad that I took this class after I took the other one last semester. I didn't like leave a gap in between, because it was like some of the stuff was familiar still from last, semester, but it built on like this stuff now. So I'm happy about that. This is closer, maybe a little bit wider. I chose a 6x9. So for this like book project, the InDesign one that I had to send to Lulu, I chose a 6x9. It just seemed like it would fit it better, and it would give like a thick spine and stuff like that. It would look nice. So I chose that. Now that I'm thinking also about my thesis, even though it's like 2 semesters away, because this semester has to wrap up, and then I still am in my 2nd year. Spring has to, go through and do that. But thinking about the sizes, I kind of actually like this size book. I think it really does help in terms of giving it space and looking at it. I think the size is one that I feel comfortable with. Like, I don't feel uncomfortable with the size in my hands. I feel really nice. Like, this one is really cool, but I don't feel as comfortable with holding it in my hands. I kind of feel like I have to like do like this, and then I take my glasses off and stuff like this, as opposed to, I just feel like even if I take my glasses off, this just feels better in my hands. I also feel like I have more control over this book than I do with that one. It's so skinny. I just like the wideness of it, and so I'm considering different sizes, and I feel like I am a more large size kind of person in terms of like the books. And yeah, I think a few of the books upstairs I got, they're not as thin as this. As slim as this one, but I think the standard for a lot of poetry books is kind of like something slim. Something slim. But I actually really like this a little bit more. And then I'm also going to check out BOA Editions Limited, because they may have opportunities to learn and to grow, and just to pick up other titles as well. I'm trying to get into reading, like I said, more poetry and stuff like that. I've had one class where I've been reading a lot in my like seminar course. So in that course, we went through poetry, we went through short stories, we went through fiction, we went through like non-fiction, memoir. So yeah, like it's been a pretty like wild semester, but I'm glad that I like was very bookmaking heavy this semester. Next semester it's going to be very writing heavy, and then thesis year will come, and then I'll be like, oof, it's very thesis heavy. But like basically I picked all my classes. I'm taking 3 again, and I'm excited about that because, like I said, like I had an idea of when I wanted to get in and get out with a degree, and so it's just keeping me on track with what I had in mind for me leaving. So there's that. So I have 3 like courses, more writing heavy. One is about teaching writing, one is like the more advanced writing, and then the other is about creating like the journal. So we have like 2 journals at our school, and so this is dealing with one of them. I believe based on the journal, it may have 2 times a year where it takes in submissions, and yeah, so we're at like in the spring it might be like the second round of submissions and stuff like that. So essentially we'll be creating an editorial team, I think, and we'll have like a masthead and stuff like that, and then we'll go from there. So yeah, there's that. All right, I think that's about it. That's just kind of like a brief like update and stuff like that. And yeah, so I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.